What's up, guys? It's Alex from the Heavy Foot, and today we got a pretty exciting episode for you guys. We have the M-Class by Mercedes. In case you guys don't know, this is a luxury mid-size automobile with 2 rows. The only difference between this and the GL, which is the bigger class, is the 3rd row and the elongated platform. They actually do share the same platform. The GLK is the one that's actually smaller than this, and it shares the same platform as the C-Class. When it first was being built, it was being built in Austria, and then 2 years later they decided that they should bring it here to the United States, right near Vance, Alabama. This model right here is the 2nd generation that Mercedes has brought to the market. It's won numerous awards, including Car of the Year back in 2008. I think that if you're looking for a mid-size luxury SUV with 2 rows in it, you should definitely have this car on your list. All right, so right now we are in the M550. The 550 is a 5.5 liter V8. It's got around 382 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. So a lot of torque in this thing. Very torquey, the motor. You actually achieves that torque around 2100 RPM. So there's a lot of low-end torque in this. Well, it's an SUV. It's got 4,700 pounds. So yeah, you definitely need all that torque. I recommend the 550 to anybody who's really interested in this car, because the 550 is the way to go. It's got enough power to really make this thing easy to drive, nice and smooth, you know, no problems at all. The other models obviously they have the 350, they have the 350 Blue Tech, and then they also have the 63 AMG. Before we go to the 63, I want to talk about the 350 Blue Tech. That's a 3-liter diesel, 210 horsepower, but 89 pound-feet of torque. Okay, so that motor is really capable of pulling this car around very easily, almost as capable as this. All right, it just doesn't have that top end, but it averages 18 in the city and 24 on the highway. Because with this you get, I believe the official numbers are 13 in the city, 18 in the highway. All right, the regular one, the base model, which is a 350, that's a 3.5 liter, 268 horsepower, you know, V6. That averages about 15 to 20. So 15 city, 20 highway. All right, this isn't going to be efficient on fuel, but the Blue Tech's pretty good. I mean, the Blue Tech diesel, that thing's pretty good on gas. I have to admit it. That thing's really good on gas. The only difference is it's got that noise like a diesel does. You know what I mean? It just, to me, it's not appealing. But if you like diesel, you don't mind the certain things that come along with having a diesel, then it's definitely the M-Class for you. I like the 550 because it provides the comfort in here. Don't think it's just the motor that provides that comfort. This 2nd generation, this is a 2009, by the way. This 2nd generation M-Class is the first one built on the unibody chassis, okay? The ones before it were built on basically a frame, and then the body was put on the frame. It wasn't as good, so this unibody chassis really adds rigidity and stability to the chassis, which in turn translates when a suspension is on here. They have front double wishbone and a multi-link rear, so fully independent suspension in this thing. When they add all that, very comfortable, very nice, very smooth. You know, you go over bumps, you don't even really feel it in this car. There's an option for what is it, air ride suspension. In my opinion, that's just a waste, but if you go off-roading and stuff like that, you should get that, because it allows you to control the front and the rear ride height of the vehicle. In Europe, outside of the United States, actually, almost every country outside of the United States, they have a off-road package that you can get with this car. And the off-road package basically allows you to have this dual transfer case, which allows you to have all the low gears with the high gears, and allows you to control the 2 different diffs up front and in the rear. In the United States, they don't have that, though. That you can't get that option with this car. But if you do want to go off-roading and you want that in your car, I mean, then the G-Wagon is for you. That's what Mercedes offers. They give you the G-Wagon instead. And hopefully we can try to get that car on the show in a couple weeks or so. The interior in here is really, really nice. I mean, it has the regular Mercedes stuff. The only thing I really want to complain about in here is the Navi unit. It's kind of small, and if you're thinking that they got bigger for the 3rd generation, the newest one in 2013, it's still the same size. I mean, a car like this, I expect like a bigger unit for navigation, you know what I mean? I mean, I think the Corvette has a bigger unit than this. I mean, it's not as sophisticated as this unit, but still, it's kind of small. It's a little disappointing. The interior up here is really nice, very smooth materials. You got wood trim everywhere, aluminum trim also. Very, very comfortable, very ergonomic. I really like the interior in here. The steering wheel is really nice. It's small, so it's easy to use. You know, all the controls are on here for whatever you want to do on the dash or whatever you want to do over here, change the radio station. Everything's here for you. The seats are really, really incredible. They're very plush and soft when you're sitting on them, but the back part, which you're, you know, basically sitting on also, that part's very, very firm. And I like that because for longer distance rides, it ends up being really comfortable. What I do want to talk about in here is the comfort level in the rear. The comfort level in the rear is pretty good. Out of the X5, the Q7, this has the most legroom, the most headroom, and the most hip room out of the 3 German SUVs. It's also coming in to be the cheapest one starting out of the 3 German SUVs, which I'm saying is the X5 and the Q7. If you equip the X5 with the V8 and the Q7 with the V8, the Q7 starts around $59,000, the X5 somewhere around $56,000, and so is the Mercedes. The Mercedes is maybe like $200 cheaper starting than the X5 with the V8, but the V8s that the X5 and Q7 come with, they're both 350 horsepower, so this actually has more power than those 2 SUVs. Getting back to amenities in the car, you have Bluetooth audio, you have, you know, cup holders galore. There's cup holders like everywhere. You have an auxiliary port connection for whatever audio player you have, and you have the ability to play audio directly from your iPod or iPhone. It has a separate connection for that, so you can charge your phone and listen to music at the same time. The car actually comes with that standard. One of the things I really want to mention is that when we talked about the seats, there's also memory 1, 2, and 3 on both the driver and the passenger side. You rarely see that, but in luxury cars you do come seeing that every so often. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why the passenger really needs his own memory or her own memory, but you know, if it's there, why not use it, I guess. So when we go back to talking about the different models, I want to talk about the 63 AMG. The only reason I consider that a waste of money is because to get there, it's $90,000, okay? And here's the problem when you get there. You have 503 horsepower, all right, and a 6.2 liter V8. And you have to ask yourself, do I need that? Is that something I need in a 4,700 pound SUV? You know what I mean? Do I need to say to myself, I can do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds? You know, does that really matter? It's kind of like saying, I have Kate Upton, I'm dating Kate Upton, but for me to really enjoy her, she needs to get a boob job. Kate Upton doesn't need a boob job. This car has a V8 and it's perfect. There's no need to have a 503 horsepower V8 in here to make this car better and then make it cost like $90,000. I don't see the point. You know, once again, that's really up to you guys. If you think the 63 AMG is totally worth it, then that's you. I mean, you need to spend 90 grand then. You deserve to. But like I said, it almost doesn't make a difference. It's not going to improve anything in here beyond the actual 0 to 60 time. You know, driving this car around for the last couple of hours, you know, I feel like a total boss, all right? I'm way above everybody else. I mean in height, like ride height, you know, it's pretty tall. One thing I do want to mention about this car, it comes with the AMG wheels. It's like, basically it comes with the AMG package. I don't see this being worth anything, but the AMG wheels kind of look really cool compared to the regular wheels, okay? The regular wheels don't look as good. The AMG wheels really look cool. They look very sporty. The AMG package, you get like a finer tuned suspension, and you know, it's kind of like stiffer almost. And you get those rails on the side. That's the sport package. You know, it's kind of cool. But driving this car around, I totally feel like a boss, and I really enjoy it. And like I said, the 550 is totally your way to go. All right. The last thing you want to do is get the regular base V6, and then you're struggling when you're driving around. Like, you got to rev it out. That's why, you know, the V6 is just not big enough to haul around 4,700 pounds. That's why you need the big V8. It really creates, you know, the comfort, all right? Because I don't pass 2,000 RPM, all right? And we're moving nice and easy. You know, and if I want, I put the pedal to the metal, and then we're really moving, you know? Like the car just takes off. 7-speed automatic. I don't think it's double clutch, but it's really nice. You guys don't even realize how fast I'm going right now. I'm doing like 60. You can't even tell because it's so smooth. You know, it's the engine and the transmission kind of, okay? But really nice, very comfortable. Like a Bose.
Like a Bose.
Like that. So we talked about all the different models that the M-Class comes with. We talked about the Blue Tech, we talked about even the 63 AMG. We did mention some of the other competitors, but what I really want to take away from today's story is that this as a luxury vehicle is still really, really good. It's compared to all the other Germans, it's the most powerful, has the most legroom, headroom, has the most hip room. It is actually, out of all of them, the better one. Granted, it's not the cheapest one out of them, but it's still really good. I can't compare it to the Japanese makers because I don't want to get into that, and that'll take a whole nother segment to discuss all that. But the best thing you can take away from this car is, in my opinion, the 550 is the gem that you can get. It's the most comfortable, it creates the best ride with the motor because it doesn't have to work as hard to really do all the things that you need to do. So if you asked me which one you should look into, you should definitely look into 550. Don't look at the 63 AMG. I mean, it's just overkill for a car like this, for an SUV, okay? The Blue Tech is a good idea. I mean, it's really upon you if you think the Blue Tech is what you want to do, but this is first, and then the Blue Tech is definitely a close second. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out our podcast. I mean, you guys need to check out the podcast because there's a lot of things I don't have time to really say about this car in the video. And on the podcast, I really go into detail with a lot of the cars that I review. So be sure to subscribe. You can check it out. It's on iTunes. Also, check us out on all the other social networks we got. I mean, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you guys want to do. All right? See you next week. With it?
Like, trying not to, if you're trying to do like methods and shit.
You don't know how to use the mounts.
Over here,
yo, if you don't know how to use the mounts, you can just say so.
No, man, I know to use them.
Yeah.
Deny till you die, baby.
All right, hold on. What else do I want to? What the hell did you do with the screwdriver?
Didn't do shit. Did you leave it on the ground?
No, I got it. Fucking breathing in carbon monoxide directly.
Well, that's by choice that you left the truck on. So.
Around here, bro, like, you make one wrong move and the neighbors call the police immediately. Do you think that's fucked up what I said?
No, it doesn't matter if you just don't add it then.
No, but do you think it's fucked up?
It's not fucked up, it's just...
It's my fucking opinion.
It's it's your opinion. It's a German car versus your CAC. I don't know. I'm just focused on this. I'm not really paying attention to like what you're saying. It's on and off.
You're a dick.